Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most anticipated races of the year, and believe me, this one is packed with twists and turns you won't want to miss. The 2024 Interlagos Grand Prix is just around the corner, and it's set to bring some major changes that could shake up the race weekend like never before. From fresh resurfacing to rule updates on aggressive racing strategies, plus the unpredictable weather, this event is bound to keep everyone on the edge of their seats. So what are the key factors to keep an eye on? And with all the elements at play, could we see some familiar faces facing new challenges in Brazil? One of the first major changes this year is the resurfacing of the Interlagos track. This new surface isn't just about smoother turns, it's going to speed up lap times while also adding a bit of a twist for the drivers, increasing track degradation. To help balance out these changes, the surface has been water blasted in addition to the resurfacing, which increases the abrasiveness of the track. This all means that Pirelli has chosen to bring in softer tire compounds C3, C4, and C5 to act as hard, medium, and soft tires. But with Brazil's unpredictable weather forecast, there's a strong chance we'll see drivers switching to intermediate or full wet tires during the weekend. Now, if you think the weather is the only wildcard, think again. Rain is expected throughout the weekend, which means there's a high chance for unpredictable racing. And let's not forget how unexpected conditions brought Kevin Magnussen his legendary pole position here just 2 years ago after a red flag was called when Russell's car got stuck in turn 5. This proves how critical every moment of the sprint qualifying and sprint event will be. With the championship race as close as it is, every single point gained or lost matters now more than ever. But there's another storyline grabbing attention: the approach of Max Verstappen. Given his recent penalties and the debates around his aggressive racing style, many are wondering if he'll make any adjustments at Interlagos. Adding to the challenge, Verstappen might need to replace engine components, which could result in a 5-place grid penalty. This potential setback could put him in a tight spot, especially with McLaren, Ferrari, and possibly Mercedes, all poised to capitalize on any missteps. Helmut Marko recently commented on the team's struggles in Mexico, citing engine issues and poor tire performance as setbacks. To address these, a new engine setup is likely for Brazil. Though a 5-place penalty isn't too severe on a track like Interlagos, where overtaking is feasible, it's clear that Red Bull is feeling the pressure, particularly with speed deficits noticed in Mexico. While Red Bull tackles engine and tire issues, their challenges extend to the track's layout. Brazil's long straightaways and strategic DRS zones allow for crucial overtakes, but the slower corners add complexity, especially for the RB20. With these tight turns, Red Bull might struggle to keep up with McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes. Verstappen's lead could shrink under pressure from competitors, especially if mechanical issues persist. For Norris to challenge Verstappen for the title, he'd need to consistently outperform him by 12 points each race. Even a single DNF for Verstappen paired with a Norris win could make things interesting. So, while Norris remains focused, he's also vocal about his hopes for a fair, intense battle. Max's strategy this weekend will be cautious. He knows that while penalties matter, the real concern lies in how the car handles the track. Verstappen's father even mentioned that his son would need to compete fiercely, like he did in Austin and Mexico, since the machinery hasn't been up to his standard. As the season nears its close, the rivalry between Norris and Verstappen intensifies. Norris, who has been upfront about his thoughts on Verstappen's racing style, believes Max received a deserved outcome after their battles in Austin and Mexico. He described their competition as tough yet clean, but voiced concern over what he viewed as unnecessary aggressiveness from Verstappen. For Norris, every race is a fierce challenge, especially with Verstappen never easing up. Despite being far ahead in points, Verstappen races like he has everything at stake, constantly pushing boundaries. This attitude has kept Norris on his toes, particularly in wet conditions where Verstappen excels. With rain expected, the race becomes even more unpredictable, placing pressure on teams to nail their strategies. The weather alone could flip the script, forcing drivers to adapt as the track shifts from wet to dry. For Norris, Brazil isn't just another race, it's a chance to demonstrate his growth and to challenge Verstappen in what could be the defining moments of his season. Heading into Interlagos, Verstappen's recent driving has sparked debate. Despite intense scrutiny, he's remained unapologetic. He didn't yield his position in Mexico's turn 8 or turn 4. even though giving way might have given Norris a clear path to victory over the Ferraris. Verstappen's father defended his son's approach, arguing that Max shouldn't alter his style due to a few critical stewards. According to Jos Verstappen, Max is used to racing aggressively, and he won't adjust based on judgments that may seem biased. Yet there's a fine line between assertive and reckless driving, and it appears the FIA has drawn a clear stance. In Mexico, Verstappen's aggressive tactics earned him a penalty, signaling the organization's intent to curb overly aggressive moves. For fans and analysts, the big question is whether Verstappen will modify his tactics. With a precedent set, FIA's decision could shift the racing dynamics, compelling all drivers, including Max, to approach races with a fresh mindset. Toto Wolff, Mercedes team principal, recently weighed in on the controversy, stating that regulations now clearly discourage drivers from forcing rivals off track. According to Wolff, drivers like Verstappen, who operate right at the edge, will have to adapt under the updated rules. Pushing a competitor out could mean a 5 or 10-second penalty, which might be decisive in close races. For Wolff, this is a win. He believes a stricter interpretation of the rules will create a fairer racing environment, something he long advocated. As we look ahead, the race at Interlagos could mark a shift in F1 culture, where calculated risks replace reckless maneuvers. Fans are eager to see how Verstappen, known for his uncompromising style, will respond. Will he tone it down or push limits as before? With so much at stake, both drivers and teams face immense pressure to perform within these new confines. Let us know your predictions below, and if you're curious about Verstappen's reaction to the FIA's ruling, check out the video on screen now. And that wraps up our deep dive into the upcoming 2024 Interlagos Grand Prix. With so much at stake and countless variables like track changes, weather surprises, and intense driver rivalries, this weekend is bound to deliver one of the season's most electrifying races. Whether it's the battle between Verstappen and Norris, Ferrari's unexpected momentum, or Red Bull's challenges with the car and engine, there's no shortage of action to watch for. And let's not forget the rule changes and how they might alter each driver's approach to racing. As the countdown begins, we'd love to know what you think. Will Verstappen stay aggressive, or do you see him shifting to a more cautious approach? Can Norris seize the moment, or will Ferrari or Mercedes throw a wrench into the mix? Share your predictions in the comments below. Your insights always make for great discussion. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, as it really helps the channel. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We'll be following the action closely, bringing you updates, recaps, and everything you need to stay informed on the F1 world. And before you go, if you're curious about how the FIA's new penalties might impact future races, or if you want a closer look at Verstappen's reaction to recent rulings, check out the video on screen right now. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and until then, enjoy the race.